But yes, the ban is not a blanket ban on all Nigerians, which means it will not be affecting every single Nigerian. It's not everybody, so to say. But the president has planned, is having putting plans in place to phase out petrol powered vehicles in Nigeria. Now, a lot of people might be saying that, why do we need to phase out petrol powered vehicles? What are we going to do? What is the implication and all of that? But I also want to let us know, from different perspectives. First of all, renewable energy sources are very much encouraged by climate change activists here in Nigeria and in every part of the world, because you see, this fossil fuels, more like the trash from fossil fuels, whatever, that's coal, oil and gas, and all of those are non-renewable sources, and it takes hundreds and millions of years to form. Now, these fossil fuels, when they are burned to produce energy, they can cause very harmful greenhouse gas emissions, such as carbon dioxide, which is harmful to us as human beings. And now Nigeria's climate change has been changing, and has been evident in the increase in temperature, variable rainfalls. Remember, all of us, we keep complaining, by this time it's supposed to be raining, before now in April it's raining, and all of that. These things, these gas emissions, this pollution of the environment, are the things that contribute to the variable rainfall, rise in sea level, and the flooding that we see around the country. So this temperature has risen significantly. Like I said, it didn't used to be like this, right? So when drastic things happen, drastic measures are expected to be taken by the people who are in authority, so that they can protect their lives and the properties of the people. Remember, that is the primary aim, that they are being put in power in the first place. Now, the goal of this ban is just basically to transition these entities to electric or hybrid vehicles. From the start of the year, the president had already promised that they were going to roll out CNG buses to make life easier for people, and of course produce clean energy, renewable energy, so much so that our environment is not contaminated just because we want to move around from one place to another. Now, the plan is to start with government-owned fleets. Remember, I said it's not a blanket ban on every Nigerian. According to the president, it's going to start with ministries, departments, and MDAs and agencies, the federal government agencies, the state government. So this is the order of this change, right? The goal is to transition, and the plan is to start with government-owned fleet, followed by a gradual phase-out of petrol-powered vehicles in the general population. So it's starting with the government, then to the people. Now, individual citizens, like I said, they are not immediately affected, but the long-term goal is to encourage a nationwide shift to cleaner, more environmental friendly transportation options, and like the basics is just more renewable system and cleaner energy for Nigerians. Now, the reason for this ban is, like I said, is in line with the president's commitment to ensure energy security, drive utility, and cut high fuel costs. Remember, we have such a level of dependence on petrol and fuel, or whatever is called, in this part of the country. We depend solely on fuel. So if we now see that we start to diversify our energy, we start to look for other ways, the pressure that is on the fuel will be reduced. And when the price of fuel reduces, we significantly will experience some level of decrease in the inflation rate we currently are experiencing in this part of the country. So it is important for us to note these things before we get into the confirmation. Now, the president has said there is no turning back in the energy reforms initiated by his administration. Again, it might be a painful process, but again, the president has said, he has reiterated that, there's no going back on this. Now, the president has directed the rejection of all memos brought by the members of FEC seeking the purchase of traditional petrol-dependent vehicles, because, of course, it was at the FEC meeting this was, I think, introduced, right? Instead, they are tasked with seeking value-driven procurement of CNG-compliant vehicles. Like I said, he's resolute in the change that he is seeking in this sector. So I'd love love to know what your thoughts are about this. I would really love to know what we see. What are the outcomes? What are the possible outcomes? If you think it's a positive initiation or it's a negative initiation by the federal government, I'd like to know why you stand for or against the motion by the president to phase out petrol dependent vehicles. Welcome again to the General Open Banters. I'm opening up the phone lines right about now on 090-7353-0044 or 09087668888. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, Madam.
Yes, welcome and thanks for joining us on the show.
Thank you. My name is Abubakar calling you from Gwagwalada.
All right, Abubakar, it's good to have you. Talk to me.
Most of the policies of this administration, they are afterthought.
Okay.
We don't have capacity in automobile production.
Okay.
Then we are phasing out petroleum-dependent cars. How do we achieve that? So many, they use gas, diesel. So what do you say? Even the diesel is expensive. So this is all rhetoric. They should stop feeding Nigeria with some rhetoric and some unpalatable policies that will not serve anybody good but themselves. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Abubakar. Well, that didn't sit quite well with him. Let's see what your thoughts are. Hello, good morning to you.
Martha, I greet you, Mr. Son of the Prince calling.
All right, Mr. Son, it's good to have you join us.
Honestly, I concur with the last caller.
Okay.
Sometimes I ask myself if our leaders would give us necessary Mr. President go to office. They said he go to office. And I said, when he go to office, what exactly do he do every day that he go to office? Because nothing is moving. And like what they said, how is it possible you're going to face off petroleum vehicle and introduce a gas vehicle? We don't even have the plan. Because when you get that the child, gradually the child will open his eyes. Gradually the child will start sitting. Gradually the child will start crawling. By a few days now, it will be exactly 1 year. And we don't see anything on ground. And they just to tell Nigeria, they want to pretend as if they are working. And that's why they are telling us that they want the ministry, the agents, the parastatals to embrace CNG vehicle. Well, we don't even have the plan yet on ground here. We have not even trained people on that aspect. Nothing of that. So by 29, you launch the vehicle. And once they are short of gas, where would we get the gas? And where is the mechanism that will fix the vehicle if peradventure the vehicle broke down? So all these things would have been in place. Then we know that what we're expecting is the vehicle. At least the station gas is already everywhere. The automobile workshop is everywhere.
Okay.
And people, the spare parts are available. People are already trained to that. People are completely aware of it. Immediately the vehicle will come. There's already existing room for that. Nothing like that. And they never keep to their promises. By
All right.
May 29 now, you realize that nothing on ground to celebrate. So for me, if what I used to tell people, instead of you wasting 1 hour and you're producing nothing, is it not better you throw in the towel and say, look, I don't understand the job and I can't do it. Let's give it to someone that can do it better. Let me look and see if they are doing something. Why cannot do anything?
All right.
We are wasting the whole 8 years. Nothing on ground to show. And this man is coming again. 1 year is gone. Nothing on ground to show. Before you say Jack, 2 years is gone. And the handler will come and tell us that what Buhari is born in 8 years, Tinubu cannot fix in 4 years. The 4 years given to you, what did you do with it?
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Sonny the Prince, for that contribution. We'll go back to his...
They can start with the government vehicle. There's nothing wrong with that if the government will continue. But you can imagine someone that travel to Kauranamoda down in Zaporadia. Do they have the plan there? Do they have gas plan there? Or somebody travel from here to Amasoma in Bayelsa. Do we have all these gas plans? If they can be able to put it, why not? We should go for an alternative. Everyone can be you may decide to go for a cheaper one. If the compressed natural gas will be cheaper for me, why would yes? But the problem is that you don't have the resource to compare my vehicle to that. Or if I have it, I will be able to do that. If they can be able to do it, it's a good one. We commend the government for that. We want the government to succeed. We want them to move forward in all these aspects. But you get the proper arrangement first. As I always say, as a father, I have children. And before that time that
they are available for Nigeria to even buy. Talk less of now, we will call the bike away, they use gas. If you say, poor people, go back to your home. Let big men, where they reach, stay for Abuja. We're not going to leave Abuja for them. We're going to continue to drag with them. for this our talk. What I want to say, what happened for Erufai car wey dey bring for us? Why the car no repair this car so that e go dey easy for common man to use? If you are not say this car wey we want to bring now, no be Nigeria go do this car, na for outside country. Our money wey we suppose to take do good thing for our Nigeria, we go dey put am for outside country. We go carry the contract give Chinese or wetin I don't really know. When you see say president dey travel, e get
cylinder or is a different one?
It's a CNG gas.
Pardon?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
I can't specify. I don't know if it's the same, but I know there are CNG buses and they are powered by gas. Gas is gas, basically.
Oh, okay.
So.
Because I wanted to ask you, between gas and fuel, which one is more expensive? Because if it is the one I used to put in my gas cylinder, my sister is from frying pan to fire, except if it is another.
You cannot measure it that way. You cannot measure it like that.
How do we measure it?
When the time comes,
the consumption.
When we fully transit, I'm sure that these educational materials will be put out there so that we can have access to, how many from cooking gas, I'm guessing. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Matamata.
Yeah, welcome and thanks for joining us on the show.
Thank you. This is Uche. I'm calling from Akamata.
Uche, it's good to have you join us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I want to greet the last tribute. Matamata, you see, we are not criticizing the government for nothing. And if the government should understand that nothing is bad in criticism, rather criticism brings out the best in you. So they shouldn't view the citizens' critics as hatred, but they should see it as an avenue for them to do more or to improve in whatever they think that they are doing. Dreaming and we will never achieve. Why are we doing all of these things? This is the things that when Nigerians talk, when they speak, it's like I think they're criticizing the government. Have a plan on ground. Achieve what? Even if it is one. Rather they keep on progressing, making empty promises. For how long are we going to continue like this, matter? This is what Nigerians are talking about. If you want to maintain the good road, at least you focus on good road. At least give us a good road. If you want power, focus on power. One step at a time. You cannot be doing this. Now the president has said that CNG buses and electric cars. How? How many people can afford this car? How many CNG stations do we have in Nigeria that can even build this car, that can even convert these cars? How many? How many electric stations do we have?
Listening to all this conversation it has been and all this encouragement and awareness to the public. I don't know anything about our belief most like that the fear of God is the beginning of all wisdom. The wisdom that we expect from the leaders are not forthcoming in order to bring good evidence to the masses of this country. In most cases, I do reason and revise issues to the days of our honorable former president Shehu Musa Yaradua. He eventually brought down the price of fuel from 85 naira to 60 naira. And by then, there is nothing like subsidy in this country, Nigeria. Nobody is even hearing any language like subsidy. All of a sudden, subsidy sprang up now. And yet, nothing is happening. By then, Moru Musa Yaradua was able to go to the Niger Delta and order the boys in the creek that are causing hazard in that region by then, brought them out, settle them and give them amnesty, but the less and the bigger individuals in the city. And all the issues of disturbance and challenges from there came down. That's the poor masses in the village were taken care of. Irrespective of things that later turned around. Then I began to imagine what is happening in our Nigerians, the life of our leaders. The fear of God is no more there. It's only the airlines that are enjoying the system. Now, this issue of the fuel increase subsidy that was removed is the key cause of everything, every high peak of everything in this nation. And who is suffering it most? The masses that put them into power. The masses that have no voice of themselves. Because this gives
102.3.
Please listen to this announcement. Farex Borehole. We are competent. We are committed. We simplify borehole for your borehole survey, for your borehole drilling, or any of your borehole challenges. Call us on 080 3596 5170. 080 3596 5170. You can visit our office at Goshen Plaza, opposite Jabi Motor Park, Abuja.
Through our research and policy memos, we have identified the challenges facing youth civic participation. Now it's time to equip you with the tools you need to engage with government agencies and elected leaders effectively. Are you tired of feeling sidelined in the governance process? Do you want to make a difference in your community? Don't let your voice go unheard. Tune into Eagle Civic Marches and be part of the movement for a more inclusive, accountable, and transparent government. Our mission is clear: to bridge the gap between citizens and government, ensuring that public resources are located to address your priorities. The Civic Marches is sponsored by ProMed Foundation with the support of the Nigerian Youth Futures Fund, NYFF.
No offense to the commercials. It's just that we want to see other audio. 102.3.
All right, welcome back and thanks for staying with us. This is Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja, your radio experience. You can count on 10 minutes to the hour of 11. And yes, of course, we have been here hanging out with every single one of you and talking about the president's ban on the gas or fuel powered vehicles. This was discussed in the FEC meeting, and a lot of people have had different reservations, even in the house or even in the meeting at that time. And the president says, there's no going back on this memo, there's no going back on this implementation. The only thing you are tasked with the responsibility to do is to seek value driven procurement of CNG compliant vehicles. And like all of you have rightly asked, do we have the resources to be able to maintain these things here in Nigeria? But again, remember, we're talking about try and error. It's starting with this sector first. It's starting with I'm trying to get that completely with government, ministries, departments, agencies, so that they can test the effectiveness of this. It's starting with them. That's a good thing. If it's starting with the masses, that's where we can start to raise complaints about